And now Cilla's back with Bob Carrollgees giving people the shock of their lives in Surprise, Surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cilla Black.
And we've got plenty of surprises in store for you tonight. Now, men are surprising creatures, aren't they, girls? Yes! Well, take my Bobby. Somebody, please. Now, I must tell you about last Saturday, because last Saturday I spent all morning doing the housework, cleaning, dusting, the lot. I do it every weekend, I do. And I went into the lounge, because we call it the lounge, you know. And there's Bobby, would you believe, sitting in front of the television watching the golf. Well, I was furious. I said, hey, Bobby, I'm fed up. I am. I'm fed up doing everything in this house. I do all the sweeping, the dusting, the polishing. It's not fair. What did I say? It's not. That's right. Those are the very words. He says, you're dead right, Cilla. I'll get you an Uber. Nice. Anyway, let's get on with the show. And we're going to start with a European flavour. Now, during the past 12 months, lots of surprising things have happened in Europe. And one of them was a really surprising New Year's Eve party in Berlin. Have a look at this. Oh, that was marvellous. And you know, those pictures have a special significance for somebody sitting right here in our audience. Yes, I think the penny's dropped. Surprise, surprise, it's you, Tamar Ingram. Where are you, Tamar? Come on, give us a wave. Come down and join me. Tamar, sit down there. Well, surprise, surprise. Isn't it now? I suppose you're wondering why you're here.
Yeah.
Yes, well, your mum, Yvonne, is that your mum's name?
Yeah.
Well, she wrote and told me all about you. Now, Yvonne, how old are you? Just 17, is that right? Are you still at school?
Yes.
And you have a lovely hobby, as we all did when we were sort of quite younger. You've got pen friends, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
How many have you got?
Loads.
I believe you've got a special friend in East Germany, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
A special pen friend?
Christina.
Christina Kretschmer. Yes.
Yeah.
How long have you been writing to her?
About 3 years.
Just about 3 years. Now, do you write, when you write to your pen friend, is it in sort of German or English?
German.
So can you speak German as well?
A little bit.
A little tiny bit.
Yeah.
Now, your mum also said that you thought, I'd love to go over and see Christina.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, surprise, surprise, you don't have to. Because with that wall coming down, we couldn't have done this a year ago. We brought her over to visit you. And here she is. Come in, Christina Kretschmer. I must tell you that she's here for the week. She's over with her cousin. Yes, she's staying at your house. Yes, she is. And she's got another little surprise, and that's it.
This is a wall of Berlin.
Oh, you can speak. Oh. That's a piece of the Berlin. Well, look at that. Let's show everybody at home. Yes, isn't that smashing? Berlin Wall, and it's broken down. Isn't it lovely? Eh? And you've got lots to natter about. And while you may have a natter about, well, your letters and everything. I'm so pleased for you, Tamar. Enjoy your friend's company, because she's here for a week. I'm going to introduce the next item, because I've got a lovely surprise. I've got a wunderbar Überraschung. Yeah. Oh. A wunderbar Überraschung for a Frank Thompson. Now, Frank lives in Doncaster, and his 13-year-old daughter wrote and told us that her dad's passionate about cricket. Can you imagine that? In fact, he reckons he's a pretty good bowler. Now, when Frank and his family came to London earlier today for a visit to Madame Tussauds, we sent our Bob off to challenge him to a surprise game of cricket.
Frank Thompson. Hello, Frank. Surprise, Frank. How are you?
Do you,
I think you've sussed this already, Frank. I'm surprised. Now, I've heard you're a bit of a cricket buff, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because your daughter has told us that you like nothing more than striking the old bill. You're a bit of a good bowler, is that right?
Like somebody when I get home.
You're a bit of a handy bowler, I believe, is that right?
I'm not that light.
Well, surprise, Frank. We've lined it up for you.
Don't believe this, you know.
Yeah, that's why you're here, you see. We've lined it up for you to get a bit of that cricket practice in, you see, to play a proper match with a surprise celebrity team.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So we're going off now to have a bit of practice, and then we'll do it.
Right.
All right, Frank. You can kill her afterwards.
Yeah.
Later to meet the teams and see them get all padded up. But right now, it's time to sound the drum, blow the horn and bang the cymbals and meet Mick Hepton and his one-man band. So, come in, Mick. Hi, Mick. Well, it's so lovely to have you in the flesh, because well, I did phone you last week. You were our surprise phone call. And you were totally gobsmacked, weren't you, Chuck? But you are really an AA man, aren't you?
Yep.
Yes. It's
A very nice man.
You very, very nice man. Very, very nice man.
Yeah.
As all AA men are. But in your spare time, for want of a better word, you are a one-man band, is that right?
You could say that.
Well, we're all dying for you to get on your gear and play us a song. What song are you going to play us, by the way?
When the Saints Go Marching In.
Well, why don't you get into all your gear, and we shall give you a big rousing round of applause later on when he comes back, won't we, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. All right, off you go, Mick. See ya. Now, have any of you ever been in a school play? Have you been in a school play? Yes. Have you? Haven't we all? And have you been attracted by the roar of the grease paint and the smell of the crowd? Well, pottery teacher Ian Preston definitely was, because 22 years ago he agreed to produce and direct his school's pantomime. Ian's wife Rowena told us that his debut was such a hit that he's been giving up all his spare time ever since to put on the annual show. Now, over the years, hundreds of kids have appeared in Ian's shows, and every single one of them are full of praise for his professional productions. Well, we felt it was time to take Ian away from his director's chair and give him a touch of the limelight for a change. So I went up to Liverpool to raise the curtain on an Ian Preston production. Excuse me, Ian Preston. Hi, kids. Surprise.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe what's happening. It's incredible.
Yes, but it's not your birthday. I'm here to surprise you, see.
You said the more than that.
Hey, get off, you. Get off. You don't mind me interrupting your pottery class, do you? Oh. Bit of bush, please. Bit of bush, lad. You see, your lovely wife, Rowena, wrote and told me all about you.
I don't believe it.
She says that you are responsible for directing and producing all the school pantomimes, is that right?
Yes, right, yes.
How many shows have you done?
Oh, well over 20, I think, now. Yes, I've been here 22 years, so...
Oh, isn't that lovely? And she also tells me that before these shows actually open, you're sold out, you can't get a ticket.
That's right. That's absolutely right, yeah.
Well, on behalf of the school here and all your pupils, because they all think you're great. And I'm here, actually, to deliver you a Cillagram.
Yes. I've seen the programme.
Oh, what are you waiting for? Come on here, let's go. I'm taking your teacher now.
Another opening, another show in Philly, Boston or Baltimore. A chance for stage folks to say hello. Another opening of another show. Another job that you hope at last will make your future forget your past. Another pain where the ulcers grow. Another opening of another show. 4 weeks you rehearse and rehearse. 3 weeks and it couldn't be worse. 1 week, will it ever be right? Then out of the hat it's that big first time. The overture is about to start. You cross your fingers and hold your heart. It's curtain time. Away we go. Another opening of another show.
One minute, Miss Black.
4 weeks you rehearse and rehearse. 3 whole weeks and it couldn't be worse. 1 week, will it ever be right? Then out of the hat it's that big first time. The overture is about to start. You cross your fingers and hold your heart. It's curtain time and away we go. Another opening, just another opening. Another opening of another show.
Well, we're going to take a break right now, but we'll be back in a mo with our one-man band and to meet our cricket team. Gordon Burns will be here with the Searchline, and we'll be meeting a wise old owl. So, see you in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome back, and let's go over right away to our outside broadcast cameras and find out how the cricket's coming along. Are you there, Bob?
Oh, sorry, yes, we are here, Cilla. Frank's with me. I'm just giving a few tips on ball control. You know how it is. He's been practising very hard.
Well, hello, Frank, because this is the first time I've met you. I've only seen you on film.
Hello, Cilla.
How's it all been going?
Champion, beautiful. It's been fantastic up to press.
He can't half-play, Cilla.
Can you really? And what's your team like? Are you pleased with the team we've picked for you?
Brilliant
Oh,
team. But
super.
first of all, you see, for any cricket match, you need a commentator, and we've got the best tonight. So
Have we?
Brian Johnston. Come in, Brian. Say hello to Frank.
Hello, Frank. Hello.
Oh, great.
Hello, sir. Thank you.
Well, no expense has been spared tonight, Bob. Brian, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm trying to learn the laws of this very intricate game, but I think I'm getting them all right. I've got to do a bit of commentary, you see.
But one thing, Brian's actually got a long way to go to his commentary position, so you should, and up a set of steps as well, haven't you? So
that's
you
right.
better go and do that.
Good luck, Frank.
See you later
Bye-bye,
on.
Bob.
See you
Cheers,
later,
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, bye-bye.
But talking about Frank's team there, yes, we have got a very good team. We're here at the Slips Indoor Cricket Centre, as you can see, and we have the English champions, which are the Slips International Team. Come and see, boys.
Fantastic. Ooh, hey, hey, hey. Oh, my goodness me.
And
Who we got?
we have a surprise celebrity opponent team. First of all, their captain, one of everyone's favourite actors, Mr. Ian Lavender.
Oh,
Come in, Ian.
super.
Thank you.
Bob? Oh, I was going to shake that for a moment. I want you to know we're not frightened. We've watched you, we've been practising, and this team is just Raring to go.
You're not exaggerating, are you, Ian?
Would I ever?
Yes, you would.
Yes, just slightly. We have been practicing. We've been exhausted, and I'm glad to see that you've changed for the energetic part of the show, Bob.
Well, yes, I like to look cash, me. You know how it is. Yes, I'll meet the rest of the team. We've got Radio 1's Bruno Brooks.
Oh, super. Hi, Bruno.
Frank Bruno, he said. Little joke of yours there, Bruno. Now, this young man, he's handsome, he's debonair, he's macho.
Oh, he is.
He's a hunk. Nino Ferretti.
Oh, yes. Lovely.
Don't forget, yeah. It's not the playing, it's the winning.
Yeah, got it wrong. Another member of the male species, Danny Brooks. Oh, no. Anyone can make a mistake. Sorry, anyone can make a mistake. It's him that confused me. Bruno Brooks.
Danny Baker.
I've got to warn you, we are to cricket, but shoes are to Suddy and Sweep.
Danny Baker. Sorry, Danny. Danny Brooks. Somebody... Right. An ace hockey player, Mr. Sean Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a hockey stick.
Okay. It's not a hockey stick, he said, so what?
You might need two.
And everyone's favourite female athlete, Miss Tessa Saunderson.
Oh, that's
I'm going to tell you what. We coach the slips, you know. You've got no chance, mate.
Well, we'll see. You're into bat. Their team's into bat. Frank's bowling first, so come on, let's take it up this end and see if he can get him out. Who's in first of all? Tessa's in first.
So this is the first time we're going to be able to see Frank bowl. He's about medium pace, every now and again cuts it back from the off. And he might test Tessa a little bit here. She's been practicing. And Sean Curley the other end, the non-striker. So here's the first ball of this great game. Oh, she hit her on the leg, but she's all right. I think it went off of her knee. She's being rather massaged. Oh, she seemed to like that.
Look forward to more cricket later, but now it's time for our first visit to Searchline, and straight away let's get an update from Gordon Burns on who we've found in the last couple of weeks. Gordon, well, what's occurring, Gordon?
Right, well, you remember we had a Royal Naval section.
How could I forget?
And in that we were looking for someone on HMS Albion that we had quite a laugh over the name. Do you remember?
Say no more. Dennis Cronk.
Dennis Cronk is right. Well, we found Dennis Cronk, you'll be delighted to hear. We were also looking for 4 men on motor torpedo boat 763 during the war. We looked for another 4 people on HMS Cable Ship St. Margaret's in 1947. 8 people all that time ago. We found every single one of them, which is just fantastic.
Absolutely incredible.
So, let's see if we can do as well with tonight's appeals. Our first is from a 79-year-old Londoner, Alfred Wormley, who's very keen to find a great boyhood pal of his, John Holman. It's quite a story, this, going back to the First World War and a series of heartbreaking tragedies that would have destroyed many people. Alfred was a boy at the time and had to cope with the news that first one brother and then another had been killed in action. Then, just a short time later, his mother died. He hardly knew what had hit him as he was sent off to an orphanage in Sidcup. But it was at that orphanage that he met John Holman, and the two of them became inseparable. Indeed, when John was 16, he left the orphanage and took Alfred with him to live with his mum and 3 sisters, Flo, Margaret and Ivy, at 49 Colebrook Row, Islington, North London. In 1937, Alfred left the Holman family to take a job in the city. John got married to another person called Margaret and moved to 133 Dorchester Avenue, Sidcup. However, 2 years later, Alfred was called up for army service and during the war years lost touch with all the family. So if John Holman or any of his sisters are watching, please call us, as Alfred would love to hear from you again. So, moving along, we're desperately seeking James Pudding Eggleton from Dudley, who served with the Royal Navy until 1965 on HMS Lagos and HMS Hermes, wants to hear from his pals, Shorty Roger Coleman from Norwich, Scouse Tommy Collins from Liverpool, Rough John Rutherford from Clacton-on-Sea, Bungie Williams, Tony Cardy and Tony Martin. And now a couple of quickies. Could the following people please contact us? Mr. Manolis George Gianniodis, who was born in Cairo, Egypt in the 17th of September 1934, and Sandra Harvey from Middlesex, seen on the far left of this photo, taken on her friend Gladys Reed née Eldridge's wedding day 25 years ago. As always, the number to ring, if you can help with any of the appeals on Searchline, is 01 222 8070. But if you'd prefer to write to us, well, I'll give you the address at the end of our next Searchline session later in the programme, which incidentally will be devoted to wartime stories. Right, Cilla.
Thank you, Gordon. But before you go, I mean, we've got a couple sitting in our audience that we featured on Searchline a couple of weeks ago by the names of Archie and Muriel Stiles. Where are your loves? Yes, there they are. Now, oh, you had a terrible time at your wedding, Chuck, didn't you, love? Yes, Muriel was very, very late in her wedding car, and hence she was late for the church.
That's right, not just the church, as I remember. It's one of my favourite stories in Searchline because they were late for the wedding, and then the reception was late as well.
And then you almost missed your train, didn't you, Muriel and Archie? Oh, yes. What happened then, Gordon?
Well, they would have missed the train, but the best man, wasn't it? Bryn Jenkins ran after the train, managed to stop it, and in fact the driver reversed the train down the track to pick up the bride and groom.
Yes, isn't that a lovely story? Well, we had a lovely letter from your, I think, was it your daughter-in-law, Catherine Stiles, asking us, there she is, Catherine in the audience, asking us, could we find your best man, Bryn Jenkins? Do we know where he was? Well, we found out where he was. He's now living in Spain, Chuck. Yes, he's all soaking up the Costa del Sol sun. But surprise, surprise, he's not there tonight. No, he's right behind you. Have a look. Come on, Bryn Jenkins.
Great to see you. How are you? I'm great.
Well, isn't that lovely? That's another triumph there, Gordon, on the
Yes,
Searchline.
it's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely
Let's
wonderful.
hope we can do it again with Searchline today.
Oh, I hope so, I hope so. We shall see you later, Chuck, all right?
Will do.
In the meantime, it's now time to meet that wise old owl I mentioned earlier. Now, 13-year-old Sarah Jackson wrote to us about her mum, Marilyn, who's crackers about owls. So we sent our Bob down to Devon to surprise her.
Yes, here we go. Turn right, and on the left, Marilyn. Is it Marilyn Jackson? Hello, Marilyn. Surprise, surprise. Excuse us, go.
Oh, thank you.
I'm actually to see it now, then. A little bird has told me, namely your Sarah, that you have got a thing about owls, is that right?
Yes.
You collect all the ornaments and things like that, don't you, with owls?
Yeah.
And I reckon, I've heard that you'd love nothing more than to actually fly an owl.
Yes.
Like they do with falcons and other birds.
That's right. I missed out at the Shy Horse Centre last year.
Well, don't get in a flutter, Marilyn, but we've arranged for you to do just that. Right, you're going to fly an owl with the help of an expert. That's Jemima Parry-Jones down at the Falconry Centre.
Yeah.
All right.
That's brilliant.
And we going now?
Now?
Yeah. It's going to be a hoot, so you know. It's all fixed.
Is it?
Oh, don't worry. Don't answer the phone, that's not for us.
Hello, you're Marilyn.
That's right.
I'm Jemima.
Hello. Pleased to meet you.
I'm the one who's going to show you owls by the school.
Great.
So come in.
Thanks.
Owls have, if you want a good technical word, they have what's called asynchronous hatching.
Oh.
Most birds wait until they've laid a full clutch and then they sit on the eggs.
Yeah.
And then they all hatch roughly at the same time. But owls sit on them as they lay them, and so you get huge gaps between the first and the last.
I see.
Which is why you have one enormous round football here. And one rather
I thought you must have been the greedy one.
One rather pathetic one there. But it isn't that they're not
This is
going to
how I wanna get down
survive.
there.
You want this? You hungry? Breakfast?
Mmm.
Now you have now the largest owl in the world on your fist, except that he's male. Were he a female, he'd actually be bigger than that. Right. Does that make sense at all? Because in birds of prey, you have another technical term, reverse sexual dimorphism. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. Don't
It just
understand
means-
it, but
it's
it sounds
easy.
good.
The difference between the sexes is reversed.
Oh.
So instead of having big males and little females, you've got big females and little males. Little males. There is an Australian owl where it's different, but they would be
Yeah.
awkward.
OK, Marley. Really easy. He's going to fly for a piece of meat.
Right.
And so as long as he knows we've got the meat, he's going to fly over here. But he's got to be paid for everything he does.
Right.
And it's a bit of meat. So you've got to put your hand right out, wave the piece of meat over the top of the glove. Go on then, sit down there. On you go. This time.
Nope.
Listen, this is what we want here.
It's time now to strike up the band, so come on in, Mick Hepton. Come in, Mick. Oh, step down here. Hey, you look wonderful. Look at this.
Not bad, is it?
You're not bad. You look absolutely very patriotic, ladies and gentlemen, don't you think? Yes. The Union Jack here, the waistcoat. This is a guitar, I know that. Now, what's this here? I know that's a mouth organ.
That's a kazoo and that's a duck call.
That's a what? Who?
That's a duck call. That's a kazoo and that's a duck call.
That's a kazoo and that's
That's a duck call.
Give us a duck call. Yeah. Now that mightn't sound impressive, but in 5 minutes' time, this place will be full of ducks.
Good.
Now, who turned you on to all this? I mean, you've got. I mean, this person that you went on to.
A bloke that I picked up.
Picked up.
A professional bloke that he does this for a living.
Yes.
And I see him doing it. I thought I'll have a crack at that.
Yeah, but you never told us his name, did you?
Shaky Jake.
Shaky Jake. And Shaky turned you on to all this, did he?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you are going to sing us, aren't you, my favourite song tonight?
I'm not going to sing it. I'm going to play it.
Sing it and
I
play.
can't sing and play.
You can't sing and play. You're just going to play when the Saints come marching in. Well, we thought you'd be a bit lonely on your own with your instruments, you see, and just your duck thing there. So, surprise, surprise. We have found the very man that turned you on to all this. Yes, come in. Shaky Jake. And this is Buster. Buster.
Buster, hey, come say hello.
Come on.
That's it.
Hello.
Sort him out.
Yes, he's a real star. Oh, and he's smelling everybody. What does that mean, Shake?
I think he's going to bite his leg in a minute.
Well, you're all going to play together. It's not going to be a duo by the looks of things. It's going to be a trio. So, ladies and gentlemen, the big build-up for the first time on Surprise, Surprise, I give to you, please take them, Shaky Jakey and Mickey Tricky, or Tricky Mickey. And Buster. Thanks a lot, fellas. You can come to our house and play any time, especially Busker, all right? That was lovely. I enjoyed him. But we're going to take a break right now. But we will be back for the final overs of our cricket match and some more requests from Gordon on the Searchline. I'll be surprising someone on the telephone. We're going to have a lucky dip, and have we got a fantastic prize for somebody sitting right here in our audience. So see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Well, now it's time for a little tinkle. Yes, a little tinkleette on the telephone. I am going to telephone a Betty Davis, and she lives in Birmingham. And I know how many digits, because I've been to Birmingham so many times. 10 digits there are up there. Yes, here we go. Now, Betty is mad on poetry. But with a difference, I've read some of her poems and they are absolutely smashing. I'm going to ring her up and invite her on the show. It's ringing out. Wonderful. I believe she's about 69 years old, too.
Hello, Betty Davis. Can I help you?
Surprise, surprise. It's Cilla here.
You're joking.
Hello, Cilla. Hello, Betty.
How are you?
Well, I'm very well.
Well, this explains. There's been some very funny things going on here the last 2 days.
Now, a little friend of yours told me all about you, Betty.
Oh?
Yes.
And I bet that's that little friend who's been coming and going for the last 2 days.
Well, if you tell me a name, I'll tell you who it is as well.
Joan.
Oh, yes, Joan. You got it in one. Joan Yates, yes. She wrote and told me all about you. Now, she says you are very starstruck, and you have been since a very early age. Is that right, Betty?
Well, yes, since about, I wouldn't like to tell you, back in the 1920s and 30s.
Oh, really? Would that be when you belonged to the Betty Fox Babes?
Yes, in about 1934, I think that was.
Oh, and we've got a lovely photograph, and all the audience are going, ah. It's because we've just shown it on the screen, you see. But you're also a very talented person in other areas, aren't you, love? I mean, you've written a book about poetry, is that right?
Oh, yes, I have done, yeah.
And you didn't do that until 9 years ago. May I ask your age? I mean, I was told you were of a certain age. I've told everybody already, but can you confirm it?
I'm 69.
Oh, yes. You see, I was right.
And I started to write when I was almost 60, you know, to get rid of a few frustrations. Because I was sick of being, you know, you're somebody's missus, you're somebody's mum, you're somebody's grandma, and now I'm somebody's great-grandma.
Are you really at 69?
Yeah, I'm a great-grandma.
So you were frustrated at 60?
Well, yeah, I was frustrated before that, love. And that's when I started to write, you see. I used to stand at the sink and think about things, you know. What have I done with all those years? And then I thought, well, I've done quite a few things with all those years, really.
Well, the reason why, I must tell you, the reason why I'm calling you, we want you to write a very special surprise poem just for us.
Oh?
Would you do that for us, Betty?
Well, I'll have a go.
Right. And do one of you. Have you got sort of a shortest one that, you know, we can all hear a little sample of now? Can you, you know, say one off the top of your head without, you know, having something in your hand?
Well, I don't have to have anything in my hand at my age, love. You know, I thought my mother, if she was alive now and could see me sitting here writing poems with the dinner half cooked and the fluff under the bed, I know what she'd be saying. She'd be saying, well, what do you think's wrong with our Betsy? We've all put it down to her age. She started to write all these poems. Each day she fills up a new page. She says it just comes to her natural. Well, I think the blood's rushed to her head. Well, she does get these queer turns and flushes. Oh, I wish she'd do knitting instead.
Betty, I look forward to seeing you and certainly talking to you next week. I'm going to have a makeup job after this because my eyes are watering. You've made my day. You really have.
Oh, that's lovely, Cilla.
God bless you, love.
You too. Night-night. God bless everybody there.
Oh, ta-ra. Ta-ra, baby. I can't wait. That's made my night. Anyway, just to change the subject, right now we're ready for another visit to Searchline. And if I remember correctly, it's all about wartime stories, reunions and things like that.
That's absolutely right. We get sackloads of mail from folk who were in the last war and are trying to find their old service pals. So this section is devoted all to them. And there's a fascinating twist to the first of our stories where a German has written to us anxious to find a former British prisoner of war who he befriended. In 1943, Hubert Vanker was 15 and serving an apprenticeship as an electrician at the municipal works Gladz in Silesia. On the land next to his company was a prisoner of war camp which held British prisoners. Hubert was allocated a prisoner to his workplace, and every day they walked from work to the camp together. They soon became very close friends, despite the bizarre circumstances. The prisoner's name was James Jimmy MacDonald, aged 29. That's him in the middle. He came from Scotland, was a beer brewer by trade, and regularly played the bagpipes for Hubert. When the war ended, the two had an emotional parting, and in the chaos that followed, Hubert lost Jimmy's address. So Jimmy MacDonald, if you're out there, please call Searchline, as Hubert would love to hear from you and your bagpipes. And now a letter from Claiborne Waldrop from Texas, who was known to his friends as Alabama. During the war, he served with the Royal Canadian Air Force, but most of his combat ops were flown with the RAF. Claiborne recently spent 5 weeks in Britain trying to locate some old comrades. However, there were 3 he couldn't find, although he knows they came from the London area. They are Edward Ted George Mercer, who married Joyce Morris, Norman Scratcher Cat, who married Audrey and lived in Kent, and lastly, E. Jerry Hawkins, who lived in Camden Square in North London. If any of you are watching tonight, please call us, as Claiborne would love to say howdy to you all. Now, if you were stationed at RAF Lüneburg in Germany during the war, you could be one of the 2 people Stan Wilson from Market Raisin is looking for. The full details are coming up now from Stan himself, whom I met recently.
I'm looking for Wally Wilson and Don Walker. We were in the RAF together in 1949, 1950. We shared the same room at RAF Gatow and RAF Lüneburg. We lost contact with each other when we got him up.
Now, did you have any idea at all where they might live in England?
Yes, Wally Wilson lived at 52 Charles Street, Motherwell, and Don Walker lived at somewhere in the Tottenham area of London.
So if Wally and Don are watching at this minute, what's your message?
Well, we should like to see him again, arrange a meeting and have a few drinks together and talk over old times.
So Don Walker and Wally Wilson, give us a ring. The number's coming up shortly. And lastly, a letter from Stephen Smith Dutton, seen in this picture, who would dearly love to contact 3 old pals he served with in Hong Kong as part of the 7th 5th Heavy AA Regiment. On Christmas Day 1941, they were taken prisoner by the Japanese and sent to a camp in Kowloon. There they worked at Kai Tak Aerodrome, building a runway to the sea. In May 1943, Stephen was moved to a prisoner of war camp in Osaka to work in the nickel mines. He's never seen his friends since. They are David Taffy Passmore from the Mumbles in South Wales, Tommy Tucker from Devon, and Joe McAdam from Birmingham. So if you're out there, call Searchline on 01 222 8070, or you can write to Searchline at, surprise, surprise, London Weekend Television, South Bank TV Centre, London SE99 6YW. Our researchers will be answering the phones until 10 o'clock tonight. That's the lot from me. See you next week. And with that, more surprises with Cilla.
Yes, we will indeed. And we shall see you next week, Chuck, all right? See you then. Well, now, I hope that the last couple of balls are being bowled at our cricket match, so let's go and catch up on the latest score. Are you there, Bob?
Yes, I'm here, Cilla. I'll come and have a word with you, but it's a bit... We've got these big zip things in the way. The match is still in progress. I think it's quite an exciting finish. I'm not sure about the score. Brian, have you got the score for us up to now?
Yes, a very exciting finish. The celebrities made 104, Slips All-Stars 101 now. They need just 4 to win. And here is Ian Lavender bowling, and it's Frank the batsman, left-handed, you notice.
Right.
And he's waiting.
Right,
Hello, hang on, he's going side. And I've got a bit of cake, but he doesn't get anything there.
Cake for you. Commentated, I know that. So.
Now we hope that he's going to try and score. Remember, he needs 4 runs to win. 4 runs to win. And Frank the batsman, I've been given a lovely bit of cake here. And here it is outside the leg stump. And he gets just 2 for that, 3 for that because they ran. 3, so they need 2 to win. We'll give him 2 to win.
2 to win.
2 to win. And he's got it! No! Frank is going to win it here. He's got his 2. And the Slips All-Stars have beaten the celebrities. Great match. Well done, Frank.
Absolutely marvellous. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, brilliant.
What do you think of that, Cilla?
Well, it looked absolutely magnificent from here. Frank, have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been fantastic, Cilla.
And who are these young people that have just walked in on the screen?
That's our Craig and our Claire.
Oh, our Craig and our Claire, your
Claire's the one that wrote the original letter.
Pardon?
Isn't it? Claire's the one that wrote the original letter.
I know, yes, isn't that lovely? Well, we're ever so proud of you here at the Surprise Studios, Frank. And what about our celebs? Everybody looks as if they dropped some weight tonight.
Yes, I've been coaching them, obviously, and so everyone's lost a lot of weight. But finally, if I could, Frank, a little award, as you know, Cilla, for Frank here, for your efforts today, winning for your team.
Oh, yeah.
That is, It's time for us to go. We've had a great match here. We had a great crowd here and been supporting the Frank's team, and they've done excellently. Well done.
Well, Bob, please
Cilla.
convey... Oh, well, you're very welcome, Frank. Congratulations to you.
I'd like to thank everybody that's been involved. I've really had a brilliant day.
Super. Well, you've said it all. Thank you very much. Hurrah, Bob. Thank everybody on behalf of the Surprise Crowd. Well, it's time now for our lucky dip, and I must tell you that, well, I must explain to everybody sitting at home, before the show started, we asked our audience to write their full names on a piece of paper, and we put them all in this dirty big barrel here, because I am now going to pick out a name, because on this, we've got a very well, we want somebody to come down from the audience and choose a very special surprise for somebody out there. So here we go. Yes. Oh, gosh, I can't read this. Mr. Bowden. Mr. Bowden. Oh, no, B-O-double... And Mr. Bodden. Do we have a Mr. Bodden sitting in our audience tonight? Oh, come on, Mr. Bodden, come down and join me. You're going to pick out a surprise for somebody. Would you like to have a sit down there? Ah, Mr. Bodden, it's very formal. What's your first name, Chuck? Winston? Winston Bodden? Yes. Really? Oh, are you any good at cards, Winston?
Not too good.
Not too good. Well, it doesn't matter. You see, I want you to choose one of these. Can you pick a card? Because on one of those cards is the name of a person sitting out there in the audience, and we've got a very, very surprise for that person. So could you do us the honours, please? Now, could you open that card and tell us, you know, what name is on there in a nice, clear, loud voice? There you go. Oh, it says... That's Mr. Bodden. Is that you?
Yes.
Well, surprise, surprise, Mr. Bodden. We have got a very, very special surprise for you, because I must tell you all about this. We can put these cards away now, you see, because your daughter wrote and told me all about you. Yes, your Stephanie wrote and told me. Now, you're not from these shores, are you?
No, I wasn't born here.
You weren't born here. Where exactly were you born, Chuck?
I was born in the Cayman Islands.
In the Cayman Islands. Now, that's a long time ago, isn't it? Yes. And you were in the Navy during the war.
Yes.
And while you were in the Cayman Islands, you met and married a local girl. Yes. And you had 5 children. Yes, you had Billy Jr., yes?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
Joseph?
Yes.
Daughter Melrose?
Yes.
And also the baby of the bunch, Roosevelt. And you were still in the Navy, but when you were in the Navy, your marriage broke up.
Yes.
And that's when your wife at the time took all your children and went to live in America.
Yes.
Well, eventually you came to settle over here in Britain,
yes.
and you met your lovely wife, Stella.
Yes.
Is that right? But you've never forgotten your children, have you?
No.
In fact, you've tried to find them. And the most astonishing thing happened last year when your lovely wife, Stella, went to Hackney Market. Is that right?
That's right.
And she was browsing through these second-hand books, and she picked up a book by Erin Pitsey, is that right?
Pitsey.
And what was the book called? Yes, it was the Consul General's daughter.
Consul General daughter.
But it really wasn't the story that fascinated you, was it?
No, it was on the front page.
On the front page there was some dedications.
Yes, it was dedication.
And there was the name of a certain hotel.
Yeah, Tiara Hotel.
And then a name of a certain boy.
This is the name of Billy Bodden.
Yes. And that rang a bell, didn't it?
Yes.
More than rang a bell. It clanged in your ears.
I said it was either my son or my grandson.
Yes.
And my wife wrote off, and we got a telephone call the next Monday.
And it was your son, Billy.
It was my son.
So although you tried to find them in America, they weren't there all the time. They were back in the Cayman Islands.
Right.
All 5 children.
Yes.
And you found out that now you've got, what is it, 15 grandchildren?
15 grandchildren.
And 5
great-grandchildren.
great-grandchildren. Oh, well, this is absolutely marvellous, isn't it, Billy? Yes. And I know it's been your greatest wish to return to the Caymans to visit all your family.
That's right.
Well, surprise, surprise, it just so happens there is a plane going to the Caymans in a few days' time, and we have got 2 tickets for you and your wife to go on that plane, and there they are, Bill. So you can see all your family. A nice surprise for Stella up there as well.
Yes.
And we thought, well, you know, just to make sure that you didn't miss that plane.
Yes.
Yes. Here are 3 of your sons to sit with you all the way. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You're Franklin, Joseph, and the baby of the bunch, Roosevelt, who you haven't even met. This is in 45 years. Come in, boys. Say hello to your dad. Well, that's all we have time for this week. But we'll be back next week with lots more surprises. I'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone who's taken part in tonight's show, especially our own Gordon Burns and our lovely Bob Cowgies. So until next week, ta-ra then. Ta-ra!
And there'll be more fun from Cilla and Bob in Surprise Surprise next Friday night at 8 o'clock.